but you've gotten so wrapped around the risk axle that you don't move forward with the opportunity. And I guarantee you, when we talk today, some of you are going to bring up issues where you're spotting more of the risk than you really are the opportunity. But we'll wait until that plays itself out in action. All right, so strategic marketing for lawyers. I'm really doing this as a setup for all the other speakers that are going to come behind me in the next 2 days. We have phenomenal speakers who are going to dig into great detail into all sorts of marketing tools and channels and give you all sorts of insights about how you can drive your practices better. But here's the issue. If you don't approach it with a strategy, if you don't approach it like a true business person, you're going to fail, right? You can throw a lot of stuff at the wall, but if you aren't putting some sort of business-like strategy around what you're trying to do, you're just not going to get where you want to be. So let's start off to why this is actually why many of you are sitting here, but why it's easy for me to sit up here and pontificate, but there are some issues. The first is, if you look at marketing 15 years ago, it was pretty simple. And actually, with this slide, when I saw 1997, I'm like, God, that wasn't that long ago. But in 1997, the principal way that lawyers marketed was first at the top. We spent a lot of time out in our communities, right? We spent a lot of time going out and shaking hands and being responsible, high-status members of our community. Marry a doctor, marry a lawyer. Well, you marry a lawyer because they're prominent members of the community. And I'm going to come back to this because I actually think we lost a little bit of this as lawyers. So that's just a bit of a preview for some stuff I'll talk about around social media communities. We also sent out some mail, snail mail. We might call people on the phone. There might be some television advertising. There might be some advertising in newspapers, the yellow pages, or what have you. But it was pretty simple. I mean, this slide, you guys can get your arms around this slide pretty quickly, right? And in fact, for a lot of you, this is still what your marketing looks like. This is today. And this is actually only the tip of the iceberg today. But when you look at all of the different marketing channels that are available out there today, principally because we now have all these free tools that are available, think of Google being emblematic, with all the advertising around Google, but then there are games with advertising in games, phones, and mobile advertising. I mean, if I really wanted to show every marketing channel that's available to you as lawyers today, it would take up like this whole wall. But here are some of the bigger categories: social media, TV, advertising in movies, radio, digital.